Hey guys, this is Shaft, and we're doing a little bit of a practice cast tonight. With me is Space Whales, my co-caster, for the red stream of a tournament we are running on May 25th, 2013. If you are watching this before that, please feel free to sign up at StarCraft2Strategy.com. Well, Space Whales, how you doing, bruh?
Pretty good. Excited for the tournament this weekend and the impending game we have right here.
Indeed, indeed. Impending, man. That sounds almost like doom worthy. Well, with that being said, let's just hop right on into this next game because it is impending, apparently.
Well, no, we're in it, so it's not impending anymore.
Oh, now it's fuck, I'm
Now
out
it's
of
in
words.
progress.
In progress. That doesn't have quite the same feel to it, in my opinion. Anyways, man, we are going to be looking at a game here on Neo Planet S, played by our red Protoss player in the top right corner. It's Skiblet. And on the bottom left, we've got a player for FX Open. His name is HotSirRobin. Well, I'm not actually sure if this is the FXO NA team or if this is the FXO Korean team, but either way, it's FXO, so I'm not sure anyone really gives a crap. Okay, well, we've got a little bit of an extractor trick here on the Zergy McFerguson's part. Looks like we're going to be seeing a one-gate expand out of Skiblet as well, since he's not building on the ramp or down at the bottom.
Indeed. Sir Robin is from NA.
Uh,
I believe he's on the NA team, at least. Unless
okay,
he relocated to Korea. That would
well,
be the only condition that I'm unaware of, I suppose.
fair enough, man. Well, thanks for clarifying that. Well, we're getting some chronos out on this Nexus. So, what are your thoughts on ZVP meta right now?
ZVP is pretty interesting. Protoss is on many maps, like Neoplanet S, are trying to figure out different ways that they can take their third.
Interesting
A
note,
lot of them
Rob.
are just deciding to try and kill the Zerg instead of take a third.
Robin actually
I'm
drone
not.
scouting all around his base just in case there's a pylon being laid down. And we've even
Oh, he's
got
actually went for the proxy hatch to try and block that.
a. Yeah, dude. Katz loves to do that. But it's interesting. Do you think he's gonna do it?
I
No.
don't think he's going to be able to. Nice probe micro here by our Protoss player. Still got that one red probe idling on the ramp. Makes me a bit scared for his life if the drone decides to aggro up there a little bit.
And there's the drone, but yeah, he's already being retreated. So the drone just.
And actually a forge going down too.
Yeah, this is a weird build by Skiblet because you don't ever see someone Nexus first with a pylon inside of their base. And then the forge is now inside of the base. Huh.
Yeah, I think he might have done it in response to being scouted so early. He might have just decided, you
It's
know what?
possible,
If
but
if I go gate first, I could get abused here.
we
So I
really
might as well
should
just do
mention this. There is a proxy hatch inside the Protoss base. What are your thoughts on pulling 5 probes to deal with this? It looks like it's slowly getting the HP down on that hatchery, but those guys are not mining. Skiblet.
Skiblet seems a little upset. Yeah, I guess if you're not going to kill the hatch with these probes, they're at least going to make it weak enough that maybe a cannon up around your nexus will be able to finish it off.
Right. Yeah. Well,
However, I don't think Sir Robin is really planning to get anything too serious done. I think he's just trying to force the economic damage, and he's just going to cancel and run away, I suppose.
apparently Protoss are the only race that get to actually proxy. It's not fair for other races to do it.
Yeah, I don't see why it's reasonable at all for another race to make a building outside of their base.
Yeah, but anyways, looks like that's gonna go ahead and get canceled. Drone's gonna run right on home with full health because guess what? Drones regenerate while building buildings. It is awesome to be a Zerg.
So during this, Sir Robin actually suffered a slight supply block, but those overlords popping now will free him of that. He's just going to take his third down in the bottom center location.
Now we
Drone up
really
here.
should talk about the opportunity cost of that proxy hatch. That proxy hatch went down before his expansion, so it
Right.
delayed his expansion, which also delayed his production quite a bit. So at this 550 mark, where Zerg is typically around 44 to 56 supply, our Zerg's only 38. Well,
Yeah, and
39.
he's also actually down in the worker count. Note that 5 of those probes were inactive for a long time, so It
Hmm.
might account for it in that regard, but needless to say, I think this is an awkward tactic for Zerg players to employ.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure if it's
you have to know
like
what
after
you're doing with
identifying
it.
the forge, he should feel safe just grabbing the third, but I guess it can exploit players who have not encountered it before.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you allot for it in your build, you're okay. But Skiblet's reaction is more what I'm referencing here, because
Okay,
if Skiblet was like, oh well, why are Zerg players allowed to do this? As if Zerg didn't have to cut something to do it. Zerg cut a lot to do that, and I just want to stress that
right.
to the viewers.
Yeah, definitely. That was not some sort of free damage.
Yeah. All right, so we've got
Skiblet
the
has, or rather, Sir Robin has got his lair on the way.
yeah.
Not sure if that's what you mentioned.
Nope, we've got a mothership core actually being used to hunt down overlords with a
See?
sentry support and stalker popping out as well. Looks like they're not actually going to bother to kill that overlord, but a mothership core coming out this early is telling us that there's going to be a 10-minute timing. It's not going to be too heavy of a timing, but around 10 minutes we should see Protoss pressuring the Zerg natural or third and then just warping back home if it's not successful. So we'll
Hey, he
see
does
what.
have the one robo up right now, adding 3 more gates
Hmm.
as he chronos out his +1.
Yes, sir. This might actually even be more of an 11-minute timing just due to that proxy hatch delaying everything. He'll want to hit when +1 finishes. Now we've got an Overlord Scout going in for Sir Robin, which is going to see that Robo Facility. Of course, that Robo Facility is only making observers right now, but an Immortal has been queued up.
Yeah, how do you feel about the 2 observers here?
Um,
Uh,
Well, if he keeps one at his opponent's, main, keep an eye on the scout on the tech his opponent's got, as well as one with his own army, he'll be fine. Or he could even put it with the Zerg army. That's up to him. But I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think it's showing that this timing attack isn't what he's hoping will win him the game. Actually, he's even
yeah, I
just going to
actually
take a
think he's
third.
going for a third right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the 2 observers are maybe to account for the multiple attack paths on Neoplanet S. We see
yeah.
here that he's using them to scout out the Zerg tech and just what's around the Zerg's natural, but later on those could be used to patrol the opposing attack paths and let him respond to Zerg army movement.
Yep. Now an infestation pit has gone down for Skiblet. He's getting 1/1 upgrades on Lings, but for some reason he's also getting Roach speed. He's also working on a macro hatch. It looks like. Yeah, that's at the third. All right, so things are looking good for Sir Robin. He's actually 14 supply behind though, so he's still at a deficit due to that proxy hatch, and he's got a bunch of Lings on the field that aren't actually able to be utilized in any way. So seems like
Well,
the.
I think he's ahead in tech.
Mm-hmm.
You can give him that at least. His infestation pit just popped, so
Well, yeah,
he's
he's
gonna have
definitely
the
ahead on tech. Robo's not that good until you start pumping out Colossi in this matchup. Mortals do really well against Roaches, but as we've seen, Roaches are not really what Robin wants to go. In fact, we've even got a Spire on the way with 2/2 Ling upgrades. So, yeah,
he might have been
38.
doing this to
Mm-hmm.
throw off. He might have seen the observers,
Mm-hmm.
and that is why he's making the Spire transition now at this point. Because he doesn't have a hive on the way, and he's already got the infestation pit, so it's not like some Broodlord rush or anything.
Right,
He
right.
might just be trying to throw his opponent off. And you know, with the double robo play coming out here from the Protoss player, he might be able to catch him
Mm-hmm.
with the Spire.
Well, he's also getting a Twilight Council now, so the Spire will be shut down within the next 5 to 6 minutes. He's going to have a small window for Mutalisks. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Hive is on the way as well. Huh.
Okay. So we're just gonna have to see exactly what he wants to do with this. He's got the pathogen glands upgrade actually started, so
Yeah.
really he can go any direction with this.
Yeah, and that's not really a bad decision to make. He's actually on 4 bases. So he's got the gas income to play with. It's only the big issue is he's still 30 some supply behind. And as a Zerg, you really tend to be ahead in this situation. As far as supply is concerned, 4 base against 3 base, you're usually pushing roaches. You usually have a better economy. Whereas right now he's even economy with his opponent, and that's just not a Zerg thing. Now Banelings are crashing right on into this immortal cannon. Wall, pylon, yeah. Lings get into the main as well. So all the Protoss is doing has been scouted. And he's even going to go ahead and target down that Nexus. It's going to take a while for that Nexus to rebuild.
Two Colossus have spawned, but they kind of rallied away from the main. It really could be the deciding factor in if that Nexus is saved. But great force fields actually from the Protoss player.
Yeah.
Seal the Lings off from that, and he'll suffer very little damage overall, I suppose.
Yeah, that actually was just a scout for Robin. He literally did not kill that Nexus by 120 damage. So
I guess he killed 14 probes. That's very solid, but given that his drone count wasn't very high until just recently,
yeah.
I think he was always just equal with the Protoss player there for a bit.
Yeah, and the probes
it isn't as big as an advantage as you typically see from killing 14 probes.
Well, the thing about it is he did that with 28 Lings. So that's 14 drones that he could have made. So he basically broke even with that. At least
he kind of had to do some damage.
Yeah.
You still see he's behind in the supply. He's actually just going to run a big pack of Lings around the outside.
Yeah. And here we go. Now we see the answer.
Is on the way.
Yep, with 3/3 upgrades as well. So it looks like we're going to be seeing that recently more and more... Oh, more Lings going into the main, but a force field goes down at the ramp. Now he's just going to target down some probes, hoping to get at least a couple of them killed before his army's cleaned up.
Oh man, that did not go very great for the Zerg player. I think the Protoss player is just handling these speed lane gimmicks very well.
Yep.
If you're just going to run around Lings like this, you've got to try and divert the Protoss' attention, poke at his third, do something, fly some empty overlords into his main so he runs the army there and send the Lings at the third. Just something to complement this. I think he's just relying on his opponent making mistakes, and you see players at this level.
Well, I actually know exactly what's going on here. This is a style that was used a lot in DreamHack. It's not completely mapped out just yet. Here's what's going on. He's trying to use the Lings to buy time for the Ultras. I was a little bit thrown off when he went for the Spire rather than the Ultra Cavern, but because he did get the Hive and then got the Ultra Cavern, this is just going to be your typical Ultra Ling Baneling style, but instead of it being on 3 bases like it was in every Zerg vs Protoss at DreamHack, he's doing it on 4 bases with his 7th and 8th gas. So this is allowing him to get Ultras in a lot more, but a lot later as well. So he has to find some way to buy himself time to keep his opponent locked to his base. And right now, Skiblet has to be scared of moving out simply because there have been so many constant Ling run-bys.
Yeah, and check out the upgrades, actually, with 3/3 almost finishing up for the Zerg. His kindness plating just popped as well. These Ultras are going to be absolutely deadly.
Especially
Our
against
Protoss players
the 1/1
is just upgrading
upgrades.
one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the double Robo, though, if he gets enough Immortals, which he's currently pumping now, that's really what he can rely on to negate these Ultras.
And he's going to go ahead and sacrifice the sentries.
What are these sentries?
Well, he doesn't want the sentries anymore.
Yeah.
They're wasted supply at this point.
Sad to see them go like that.
Man, the flashlights were turned off.
Should hallucinate a million Voiders before you do that. Come on, have some fun.
Yeah, maybe Sir Robin will pull an Idra afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this Protoss player have 300 supply?
Alright, so we do have a 5th base now being taken by Sir Robin as well as the 6th. So he's got both the corner bases locking his opponent into the 4. This could go either way for Robin. He's got a very mobile army, but with that being said, the creep spread does not really reach to that top left base. So it looks like he'll be more focused on defending the bottom right. But that's also
the thing is, if the Protoss going the death ball style, if he ever goes for one of those bases, he's leaving 3 of his own bases exposed. I think what Skiblet has to rely on is actually crushing the Zerg army, or whittling it down enough so that he can do some multiple prong aggression without it being cleaned up by just say a pack of Lings or freshly spawning units.
Absolutely.
He's actually doing a really good job of scouting everything out right now, flying around hallucinated Phoenix around the top and bottom sides. He's still got his 2 observers active, and he sent a couple hallucinated Colossus out into the Zerg army to check it out.
Absolutely. Now, he did not see how many Banelings were morphing, though, because there are still morphing Banelings. Banelings? Terrible against force fields. I bet you Skiblet's going to wish he had kept those sentries.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. With the huge supplement of Ling-based force to this Ultralisk army. I think there's still some utility for force fields if you can work your way around the Ultras. But here goes the engagement. FXOSirRobin storming in to the third. Banelings detonating on the frontal forces of our Protoss player. Infested Terrans being thrown out here.
Absolutely, and the Banelings are rolling, 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 and exploding all over fungal growth units. Could you imagine how painful fungal growth actually is? Imagine having fungus just popping out of every orifice of your body, and then you'll feel those colossi pain.
I think I saw that happen to a spider on Reddit.
Oh, wow. Ew.
So, 4 Colossi being retained here, in addition to 3 Archons and 2 Vordays, so he kept his meaty units alive. But if you look at the bank for SirRobin, he doesn't have the capacity to supplement that army with a gateway force right now. Look at all the cannons down at his lower, or I say SirRobin as the Protoss player, excuse me, Skiblet. He's got all those cannons down at the bottom right, and he's taking up the bottom left with a bunch of DTs right now.
Yeah, bottom right will definitely be protected against any kind of Ling run bys, that's for damn sure. So top left actually getting cleaned up by DTs, as you mentioned. There's not really much or cloaked units in any of SirRobin's bases. So if these DTs just go to the fourth here, that's going to be very devastating. Now we do have Banelings and Lings rolling in to the fourth base here of Skiblet, cleaning off a lot of those cannons, but that was a lot of gas wasted in terms of Banelings as well. So now we see the reason for the Spire. It looks like SirRobin is abusing Zerg's ability to tech switch by going with nothing but Mutalisks in the late game to follow up that Ling Ultra army.
Yeah, but Skiblet's got the right response. He's adding in Phoenix. He did lose a couple Void Rays to the Mutalisks running around, but I think he's going to be able to stabilize against this transition, given that the tank count is already pretty strong at his expansions.
The tank count?
Sorry, cannon.
Gotcha.
We were casting a TVT.
I understand. Okay, so we've got the first flyer attack upgrades finishing now for Zerg. He's still got to be a little bit worried about these DTs. So he's got Overseers positioning all around the map, but I'm still worried about this natural. DTs could just get in there so easily, and there's nothing that could handle them.
Yeah, you don't want to lose any crucial tech structures in the late game here.
Absolutely.
When things get scrappy, the Hive getting taken out, all those things can be binary loss conditions, essentially, if you don't have the right response for a supremely cost-effective Protoss army.
Yeah. Well, I do like the way that SirRobin has only made 16 Mutalisks. He's using these as best he can, but he's not going to overcommit to them either. Now we do have Zealots and DTs cleaning up the bottom right base of SirRobin as well, so he's about to get limited back to that original 4 bases that he was on. Ouch.
Right, and Skiblet's actually doing double upgrades now at this point. He's upgrading his shields in addition to his armor. No longer stuck on that one forward. We see his composition, army, and everything's really just developing for him nicely. After all these Zerg shenanigans, he's still kept everything together, maintained his focus, and I think he's going to be able to punish the Zerg finally.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of gimmicks out of SirRobin, and they were nice, they were pretty, they were cute, but in the end, you have to be solid. And that is one thing we have not seen from SirRobin. Solid, stable play. I'm not saying, he's bad or anything, but everything he's done has been responded to perfectly by Skiblet. And everything that SirRobin has done has set him behind in different ways, which Skiblet has then exploited.
Yeah, Skiblet's showing really, really good, confident play style.
Good
in his
fumbles
responses
on that
and his
Phoenix,
transitions. Yeah, he tries to take out all the mutas here. I think he'll be successful also picking off the Overseer, but as you mentioned, leaving himself vulnerable to fungals, and these Queens are actually raining down on the Phoenixes too. He's completely lost that utility that his army had. However, he might feel that given the base count, that the Zerg player will not be able to replenish that Mutalisk count, and he'd rather just trade off those 2 utilities and hope that he can rebuild his own.
Yeah, makes sense. He's not even trying to rebuild Phoenix, and neither is SirRobin trying to rebuild Mutalisks, so looks like they're both happy with the trade up, both really close to 200 supply yet again. So the production's there.
Sorry, Now that
Ooh,
he can't make Mutalisks though, like that he feels not comfortable, he's gonna go for Ultras, and we just see Void Rays being pumped up by the Protoss player. So this is actually working out perfectly for him.
absolutely. And there's a cannon rush at the top left side of the map being cleaned up by Ling Ultra pretty
Yeah, but no
effectively.
detection with it. Those
Yeah.
DTs are actually destroying these Ultras.
Ooh,
The Fungals
fungal.
finally get here, but that was harsh damage.
Yeah, there was what, 3 Ultras killed there?
And maybe even a fourth here.
It's possible. It is possible. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
No,
No,
not anymore.
no. DTs have better priorities, and actually, the fungals. I don't think there are any more fungals. What happened to the fungals? Bye bye base.
Yeah, the Infestor's actually down at the natural now. By the posturing of Skiblet's army, he kind of forced them to retreat. Infestor is obviously kind of a slower unit, so you got to get them moving in advance if you want to respond to that big death wall.
Indeed, sir. Wow, dude. I really was feeling Sir Robin at the beginning of this game, but Skiblet is solid. Holy crap. Well, he does push all the way to the creep spread, but there's no reason to push on creep at this point. He's actually, well, basically up on bases at this point. So, yeah, why attack when you're up? When you are
So if he
ahead,
secures
get
this
more
bottom
ahead.
right, I think that that leaves Sir Robin's only mining base over on the left side. So
Hmm.
anytime that Sir Robin will posture towards the right, Skiblet can essentially threaten to completely remove his economy. Just running into this bottom left. You see, that's why there's so many spines over here, but there's no spore. It's definitely vulnerable. Don't know if our Protoss player will exploit that, but I think
Yeah.
in a straight up engagement, he's also looking healthy as well.
And the biggest issue is this is about to be the only mineral mining base for Sir Robin. This other one about to mine out. So there's really nowhere else for him to go unless he wants to take one of these gold bases. But Skiblet already getting some pylons in place just in case that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think he's looking to secure that gold on his side.
Yeah, he definitely is. But imagine Zerg on the left and a Protoss on the right and a couple of cannons in between. It's not going to be pretty. Now we do have a bunch of full health, full energy queens rather to support the Ultralisk army. So this time around, with this kind of creep spread, Sir Robin may be able to reincarnate his Ultralisks, a couple of Tauruscu Ultralisks, in other words.
Yeah, these guys are going to be buff here. They're going to last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be about the Infestors, I think, and the Voiders here, as everything else is essentially meat shield.
Well, this is just a terrible engagement for Sir Robin. His Ultralisks are blocking themselves, and it's all about surface area when you have Ultras. These guys are going in basically one at a time.
Ooh, but the Neural Parasite on the fungal Void Rays, and he's actually cleaning up the Protoss force. Both
Wow.
supplies are plummeting, and look at the bank of the Zerg player.
You've got a point there, my friend. You have got a point. But, holy crap. That is not what we were expecting to see. Wow. Sir Robin floating about 1,200 minerals, following up with 17 Mutalisks. And we're definitely going to be seeing Lings after that.
Yeah, I think Skiblet needs to improve his mineral count a little bit, get that saturation going at the bottom right base if he can,
Mm-hmm.
because really he barely has the capacity to produce anything. He's just making only Voiders, 3 at a time.
And Void Rays really don't do that great against Mutalisks, by the way, guys.
Look at this harass and the cheeky harass in the bottom right. Sir Robin throwing up one infested Terran to peck away at the assimilator.
I have to ask, what is one Terran going to do?
It's gonna distract him while he flies all the mutas over and picks off the freshly spawned Void Rays.
Well, that will do the trick, because it distracted me as well. And the Void Rays are going to get cleaned up. Unfortunately, Archon's now in the mix as well, so Mutalisks are going to have to be careful where they fly and what they fly into. But he's flooding in Lings at this point, so if you're going to chase down his Mutalisks, be ready to get hijacked by some Lings.
Yeah, I think Sir Robin's really just assessing the situation, making sure that he's safe to go in for the kill move. He doesn't want to throw away a scrappy game like this where he's just accumulated a supreme advantage. I really see no way of Skiblet recovering in this game unless he can just turtle on his cannons forever.
Well, he
But all of
is
his
the only
production's so
one mining.
exposed.
He is the only one mining from 2 bases at this point, so If
See.
he does get back in it, it'll be due to that. But I'm with you, man. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, he's coming up here to defend. He knows that these structures are important, even though there's no more resources around them, essentially.
Mhm.
But these Archons being really well microed with the
Doesn't
Stargate
matter
unit
though;
over
they do
top.
fall.
Indeed.
Well, Sir Robin has shown us exactly how useful Mutalisks are in the Supreme late game. You see them more as a mid-game tool, especially with them becoming available at Tier 2. But usually people in the mid-game don't have the gas count to support it. This is a really interesting concept and tech switch follow-up coming out of Sir Robin that you're just not seeing in the metagame these days.
You know what? Though there's actually a strong Phoenix count now, and I believe he does have that range upgrade. He used all of his minerals to warp in one fresh wave of Zealots at home. They have 323. If he can clean up these Lings and end the Mutalisks and keep mining, I don't know. I mean, there's no extra hatchery yet for the Zerg player. He's been investing everything into killing Protoss right now. Sir Robin's might get walled out of the Protoss' main as well by these
Ooh,
well-positioned Zealots, so I don't know if this is actually as over as we thought it would be.
it's possible, man, but I don't know. Let's check a look at something. Oh wow.
Oh
We
no,
are
the
long.
Zealots break through. Or the Zerglings break through the Zealots.
Yeah. Well, the Zerglings break through the Zealots as well, but we're long distance mining from the top left base at this point because the fifth base of the Zerg, fourth base of the Zerg has mined out. So basically, if the next 400 minerals he has are not spent on a base, and he doesn't go ahead and kill his opponent outright, he's not going to.
Yeah, this is a crazy game. Holy shit.
Yeah, man, scrappy
The,
as hell.
check out the mineral count in the two remaining bases for the Protoss. He's got a couple hundred, even at some of the patches at his fourth there.
Mm-hmm.
And in the bottom right, those are healthy, some of them over 1k.
Taking a look at the income tab right now, Skiblet has 5 times the mineral income of his opponent.
He does only have gateways, though. No Robo, no Stargate.
Really, with minerals, you'll want the gateways. The gas saturation is not what's going to win him this game.
True, yeah, he's got that insurmountable Phoenix count now at this time. Check out the units tab, and for Sir Robin, only 13 Mutalisks against 13 Phoenix. That's going to go the Protoss' way if he doesn't fall unconscious on his keyboard.
Absolutely.
And even then, he probably could still pull it off.
Yeah, dude. Actually, at MLG Raleigh, I watched a guy playing against Beast. This is 2012. The Beast was playing like his heart out all game long, and then for the last 3 minutes of the game, his opponent laid his face on the keyboard, and Beast was still microing against him for 3 solid minutes.
That's BM.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. I can't say you didn't deserve it though. Anyways, we've got Lings being picked up by Phoenixes here. When you're using Phoenixes to defend against Lings, you're either got way too many Phoenixes or you're in a situation like this one. But unfortunately, he still loses the Nexus.
Yeah, I don't know if losing the Nexus is that much of a problem at this point. I think more importantly, the pylons shut down those other two gateways, but even with his income right now, I don't know if he can produce off of those. He's getting Storm, actually. A great response. Once again, Skiblet coming up with the right answer to everything that Zerg is doing.
Yeah, Skiblet now 60 supply ahead as well. Oh my gosh. Well, we do
It's a good thing he made 800 cannons at his base, too.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Now, the thing is, we have in the top left Sir Robin sitting on that mythological fifth base, as well as taking a sixth one at the gold. His opponent was not able to secure that gold, so it looks like we won't be having that cannon versus hatchery war we were hoping for.
We've actually got 3 infestors out now for fungals, so Sir Robin's going to be able to secure that mining location. Not sure how he's going to be able to defend his gold, though, as the Protoss Gateway army is now posturing out to unite with these Phoenix and dive down into that central pit.
I have to say, with this many Phoenixes and Zealots, though, this game could definitely be swayed by a few really excellent fungal growths.
It's true, especially if the Phoenixes are trying to harass and he catches them near where the Queens and a Spore are.
Mm-hmm.
That could really sway the engagement as well.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like the final battle, the Harmangaidan, will take place right here in the gold bases, because that's where all the armies are getting in position at.
Yeah, definitely the Protoss player does not want to let this get up. I think he's about to go down there. Links his stalkers behind the Zealots.
Good positional trick. Now just waiting for Blink to charge up, as well as some Archons. And looks like
Here
we're
we go.
moving out. Yep. Probe leading the way. That is a hero probe right there, my friends.
All the queens are in position with one Spore Crawler. There's another Ultralisk here to join the party. Look at that gateway count from our Protoss player. Fungal, that's absolutely awesome on all the Phoenix except one.
Nice storms as
But six
well.
storms.
Ooh. And storms affect workers as well, but the fungal
Is there
growth...
enough chain fungal? No.
No.
The last one doesn't get off. I do not think these mutas can overwhelm the Phoenix count. They're
No.
quite well upgraded with those shields.
It's never going to happen. Sir Robin, 130 supply behind. This is
Oh,
GG.
Skiblet brings it back. What an awesome game.
Dude, from a position we said was unwinnable at that, we are now watching the March of Death as Skiblet continues to wonder why Zergs are allowed to do this sort of thing.
uh, yeah, 16. Maybe that's 18 lings on the way. That's it.
Yeah.
Going for a big ling run by, but I think he's got less than one ling per cannon here.
18 Lings can definitely beat this many Zealots, guys. Just saying.
They might be able to kill one of the Archons.
Yeah.
If it's by itself.
Maybe. If the Lings don't cluster bad.
On move command. Oh shit.
Wow.
Well, it looks like FXOSirRobin is going for the base trade with 2 infested Terrans.
Mm-hmm. And we'll just go ahead and take a look at that real quick. 2 infested Terrans mowing down part of a gateway.
Part of the Zealot.
Banelings rolling in, but guys, there's no chance for him to end this game. I don't even know why he's still in it.
After a game like this, it's hard to give it up.
Yeah, he can't see that he's 100 supply behind his opponent, I suppose. That is some good creep spread, though. Gotta give him props on that.
It's halfway to Scarlet.
GG, well played. Alrighty, guys.
Oh.
Well, that was one hell of a game.
That was well played.
It was. Was there anything you wanted to say in conclusion of that game?
If the solid macro player plays better, they'll win.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
That's what it looks like.
Well, Space Whales, I thank you for joining us tonight, man. Viewers, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you learned something in this game. If not, check out our other stuff on YouTube because it's all there. I swear. Bye-bye.